everyone is waiting for. I'd like to say a few things though before we start this. The Police Study Committee is here. The study is being presented. It's not a public hearing. It is, we will have public input. And as far as people coming up and speaking, the for or against, really try not to be repetitive, because tonight is nothing more than a discussion. We are seeing this in full for the first time right along with the rest of you. So if you do come up to speak, I would ask that you keep it to 3 minutes. And as far as asking questions, the committee is not prepared fully to answer them. So we would welcome any of your statements. But as far as having open discussions, I don't believe that it's not going to be a debate this evening. So I would appreciate your cooperation. And with that, I would turn this over to John Winters, who is the chairperson of the police study.
Thank you, Judy. I'm afraid you're all going to have to turn around and face the rear.
Can you give him a microphone?
Yeah, here, you need this. Here,
There.
get comfortable because this is going to take a few minutes.
2.5 hours.
Just quickly, I'll go through how the committee was formed. It was April 2010. The committee was formed by the town board with this charge, and I'm not going to read this to everyone, but if you could just take a moment and read through it. I think it is important to recognize that specifically it was not a do we do what Clay did. It was determine what we have in Cicero and make recommendations moving forward. Jessica, did you just twist it a little bit? That's better. Thank you. The committee members met every week from April until now. Along with Jim Corll from the town board. Everyone worked very diligently and did research in between meetings, and I would like to thank all of them for the job that they did. I think it has been outstanding, and I think everyone will agree with me after this presentation. There were a cross-section of residents from the town, and the focus is on developing an understanding of police services. And that's an important term, because our focus was not to learn how to be policemen. It was to learn what the community expects from a police department. And we'll go through some of those, and how a department could operate better if we saw some opportunities for that. First thing we did was to take a look at what the town needs are and identify any state and local regulations involved. Again, not to learn how to provide the services, but to understand the needs. We developed a set of questionnaires that we shared with the Cicero Police Department, Onondaga County Sheriff, and the New York State Police, who are the three policing agencies responsible for providing services to the town of Cicero. And another group of questions was more specific for the Cicero Police Department. We met with the police chief of Cicero, Joe Snell, and Under Sheriff Warren Darby of the county sheriff, so that the committee could interact directly with them on the questions that we had and allowed them to provide a fuller explanation in some instances. We took a lot of time looking at financial data and also calls for assistance through 911 centers. We held 3 listening sessions for town people to provide input, and we also took an overview look at other police departments in the area and how they were operating. Not an in-depth look, it was a high-level overview. Members of the Cicero department were invited to attend a committee meeting and where they could interact directly with the committee. No one took us up on that offer. We did use the internet extensively.
Excuse me. Yes, matter of fact, Mr. Winters, as a representative for the police department.
Would you use the microphone?
I would, no. This is during the study.
Well, I just want everyone to know that I did contact Mr. Kirk over here and asked him to.
Mr. Aragon, would you please be seated until the study's been complete, and then feel free to stand at that time. Thank you.
Okay, some of the background on the that we learned. Both the Onondaga County Sheriff and the state police have responsibility for providing policing services to Cicero. We make payment for these services, we being the town taxpayers, through state income taxes for the state police, and annually the town is assessed by the sheriff for a portion of the county budget. For 2010, the sheriff's services cost is $2.47 million. And you pay that through your town property tax bills. These are the services. You probably can't read this in total, but these are the services that are provided by the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office. It's quite an extensive list, and they have in-depth services in all areas of police work. Little history, in 1979, the town recognized that they needed a higher level of police presence in the town in the form of neighborhood patrols. That the local force at that time was comprised of a part-time police chief and part-time police officers. Primarily, they worked nights and weekends. In 2000, the town board at that time approved the establishment of a full-time police force. Including a full-time police chief, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The force has evolved into what we have today, which is a very well-organized force. It's New York State accredited, and they provide a broad range of services to the town. And that includes criminal investigations and forensics evidence gathering, and quite a few areas, and we'll explore those more in a moment. The officers in the town receive the same level of training as sheriff's officers through the same police academy that they attend. The officers are members of the Police Benevolent Association, which is a union with a collective bargaining agreement with the town. The chief has established a Chief of Police Advisory Council, CPAC, to provide input to him directly from the community. He also has established Volunteers in Police Services, the VIPs, which assists at various functions. They assist the police force. The personnel in the department now, and this is subject to some change. This data was gotten from the 2009 Chief's report on the internet. It's available on the town website. So they have that level of personnel. And also, there's the police headquarters at Town Hall, plus a substation in Bridgeport, and a number of patrol cars, unmarked cars, forensic van, and a VIPS car. They surveyed, I believe it was 2009, randomly selected people that they had had contact with the department. And overwhelmingly, the department received a positive rating from those people. And this is a summary of the comments that were made. There were very few negative comments. The majority were positive as far as professionalism, follow-up, and being helpful. The community listening sessions were attended by approximately 145 people. Only 40 of those provided input, and 87% of the statements made were in support of the department. Some comments that were made, I'll just let folks read those. I'll highlight a couple of them. People feel that VIPs are important. E-policing, for those of you that are not familiar with that, it's emails from the police department on activities in the town. Some other questions that were raised by community members were why so many police cars idle in the parking lot, why do they have a forensic van, why don't I see patrol cars in my neighborhood as often, and why do I see 2 or 3 different agencies at a single accident. All of the police agencies in the town, and in fact in the county, are dispatched by the county 911 center, and that includes Cicero Police. They are dispatched on a nearest available unit basis, so that what actually determines who takes a call is proximity to the event. And you could have a state police unit half a mile farther out than a Cicero unit, and the Cicero unit would get the call. The Cicero does not respond to calls outside of the town. Now this is a chart that is all calls from the 911 center, June of 07 through April of 2010. And as you can see, the Cicero department took the majority of the calls, 62%, and sheriff, 26%, New York State Police, 12%. That was all types of calls. Break those down, criminal incidents, the percentages hold up pretty well, as you might expect. But that is the breakdown for the 3 types of calls, just general calls for assistance, and traffic and vehicle incidents. And they are pretty indicative of the overall calls that the department responds to.